Gilead is not fiction. It never was.
Every episode decoded. Every system exposed.
Good evening, everyone. We are here. Queen D and I are about to embark on our review, recap, and analysis of the Testaments, Season 1, Episode 9. Wow. Wasn't this
Big hand.
great, thrilling episode
Chase,
from start to finish?
you really did it. You did it. And it was a beautiful girl, Pearl. What's her name now? She's a plum now.
Lucy Holiday.
Lucy. All right.
Yes. Both of y'all earned the
the
Emmys
episode
tonight.
that turned it around for me. These girls really did their thing, and they had me on the edge of my seat. I did not even know if it was real or not. I mean, I got some tea, but I think I need a drink.
It was hot.
Well, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. So I am Empress Queen D, and this is Clay D, as we said.
Hello.
We love the whole series of the Testament because we were fans of Handmaid's Tale. Now, we used to call her Hannah, Chase and Fitting, Hannah/Agnes, but she has become just plain Agnes.
She's Agnes.
And that DNA of, like I said, June is coming out more and more. This girl has so much wisdom. She's so savvy, so smart. She knows how to, as I say, survive in this place called Gilead. Because let me tell you something. Don't underestimate these girls. They know what they're up against. They know how to play the game. It's kind of like slavery. You know how they used to have Morse code and all these other different signs, like, you know, like when we look at you this way, we're going to come at night from the church. And I mean, you really have to know how to survive in this place unless you're not going to make it. But
this episode brought the heat. That's why I took off my top.
Serious. Let's get into it. So let's start, Clay.
Yes, let's start. So this episode begins with the Pearl Girl dormitory. And we had seen, like, it looks like they were cleaning up a body. I think that was Talia's body, but they never really identified.
No, it wasn't Talia.
You don't think it was Talia?
No, because remember what they said.
Whose body was it?
They had talked about, they used Psalms 51. They also used, I forgot the other Psalms, but basically what they were saying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If these men do anything to us, they must pay, is what they the aunt said. And so the girls were mopping up a man's body with the blood and everything. And they were talking about, because he used his term, she did say man. So that we know that this room here, when these men do something and they get caught, it's true. Either they are dying or they're going to get an arm or something cut off. You know, depending on what they did.
Like Commander Putnam.
Sure
like Commander Putnam in The Handmaid's Tale.
They must have some type of code, not a code, what do you call it when you have a book where you have a list of things, you know, that will tell you, you know how what do they call that book? It's a book that you have a policy. Yeah, policy.
A handbook.
Policy handbook. I remember because, and they'll have like, if you do this, you get your hand cut off. If you do this, you get your tongue cut off. If you do this, and they got a list of all the body parts, or you get hung on the wall, or you just get killed. And this was rough.
It was.
So it started off bloody and it ended bloody, and we're going to get into it right now. So like Clay said, they were mopping the floor, cleaning up the mess. And then, I mean, I was tired of seeing blood with this menses thing because, you know, I'm old school. I don't need to see all that stuff. But they showed Daisy again, you know, in the bathroom. She's got a pad that Agnes has given her. And she's trying to decide what to do. And she makes a decision. She's ready to let everyone know, because remember now, she had that conversation with Garth last episode.
Last week, yeah.
When she said, "How do I get out of this place?" And he said,
He said, "Girl, you can't.
You
stuck
can't.
here.
You are a sponge." And she's like, "I'm not going to stay here. I need to speak to June." He's like, "June who?" And she's looking at him like, "You know who June is?" He's like, "No, I don't."
I think he knows who June is.
And then she says, "Well, I don't want to get back." He says, "Look, you asked to be here, then you're going to have to play the game basically, because you're here. And I can't help you get out. We got to figure this out later." And you know what? Garth reminds me of Nick from Handmaid's Tale.
He's Nick Light.
Yeah,
Nick
he's like
Light.
the new Nick. Nick number 2.
Yeah.
Nick number 2. Yeah, because he plays the game, but there's a part of him that has been believing his entire lie. You know, and that can happen. That can happen. You have lied so much that you start believing your own stuff. You done made it up in you're believing it. So anyway, so he is saying, "Look, I'm going along with it. If I have to marry Becky, whatever I got to do, you got to do your part. I do my part. But we ain't getting out of here no time soon." Okay?
Nope.
And I think that's when Daisy made up her mind. And I think that's when she said, "Okay, I gotta play this game." Now let's talk about why she rings the bell. And then everyone's like, "That's strange, a bell ringing. Like who got the menses, right?"
Yeah.
Menances or whatever they call it.
Let's just say menstrual cycle.
I know, like they said menances or something. But anyway,
let's just call things by
the
government names.
They go outside and they circle around the flowers, and then the aunties come out, and there's Daisy going, "Blessed be the fruit," and all the other things she was saying, and I can't remember every verse she said, but basically she couldn't remember it, and she just looks at him and goes, "Okay, I got my period." I had to kind of laugh at that.
That was funny.
That is so modern.
You saw how Aunt Lee, you saw that smile on Aunt Leah's face. It looked like she was so. I haven't seen Aunt Leah smile like that.
Yeah.
Really smile.
Right.
Not just the whole "what's the beautiful fruit talk." No, this was
and
like.
Lydia looked genuinely happy.
This was more genuine.
Yeah, I mean, they were all happy for her. And it's like, look, her first pearl was like, is starting off something new. And this has never happened before. And so, Daisy, we're so happy for you. Your new life. You have become a plum, basically. And so.
The outfit fit her good, I would have to say, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, they go and they say, let's go back in now. Becca is so jealous that she cannot stand Daisy. She's like, she's a spy for all us plums. I don't know why you're getting so close to her. You don't come visit me anymore. You're not calling on me. Becky is like beside herself. We all know that Becky is traumatized from the idea that she will have to marry and be with a man. But I will say, like Huda said, and like everybody was saying, Becky, you got the best one. He's young, he's good looking. We got all these old men, And Becky's like, I don't give a damn. I don't want no man. I want Agnes. She's in love with her best friend. She loves her, and you can see it all over. But she also walks with a look in her eyes of anger, resentment, jealousy, hatred. There's a look in her eyes of fight or flight. It kind of makes you question whether she has been abused from her father, the dentist. We don't know, but we do know she has a disdain for men, and she's got to keep it hidden in the closet. She has not bought into this whole thing, not like Agnes, who has bought into the whole thing, And so what happens is they say, come in, it's time to dress her up like a plum. She's a plum now. And Becca is so mad that when it's time to pin that on, she sticks her in the chest and she goes, oh. And she's like, Becky looks at her like, yeah, I meant to stab you, honey. That must have been a sign of what's to come.
That certainly was.
What's to come?
So what do you think about? What do you think about? I would say just Daisy's arc this season. Do you feel as though she's built for Mayday, or do you feel she's still messing up or putting herself at risk?
Daisy is not built for this.
She's a tough one, though.
She's tough. She's a survivor. I feel that even though she's not built for it, it's not because she can't be. It's because she hasn't been trained, and it's because of her immaturity. And she has a rebellious spirit, which may not work well when you're trying to spy or save a life or whatever she needs to do. But you got to trust her. But, let's just say this. She's learning as she go. But there's something about her that she's still grieving. Wouldn't you say?
She is.
Yeah.
Which we don't talk about enough.
Yeah, she's grieving.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what happens then. Oh, they go, oh, Daisy, now that you're a plum, it's time to go to the dentist. She's like, now?
Yeah, that was rather quick.
Hell no. That's what happened with my friends. No, I heard some horrible things about this man. I don't want to go to the dentist. But they were like, yes, someone had a cancellation, and so come along now, come along. Daisy is like, I don't say she's scared. Would you say she's frightened or something else? Cautious.
Yeah, I was going to say unnerving.
Cautious. She's cautious, and I think that there might be a little fear there, but I don't think she's afraid of him. I just think that she is afraid of what might happen and what she might do.
I agree. Because she's heard all of the accusations from Agnes and Huda, so why not? So when she's being brought into Becca's dad's, I ain't even call him by his name's off, and so inside the office into the operating room, not really an operating room, but she's the dentist room. He starts making her teeth bleed. I don't know what he did. He scalped her gums or something like that. But
what happened was, a lot of times when girls go for cleaning to get the plaque out, they use a tool and they scrape, well, not girls, but anybody who goes in it, they scrape the teeth, trying to scrape the plaque off with a sharp instrument. And if they're not careful, most of the time your gums will bleed. I've experienced this too. So your gums bleed, and if they do it too hard, they even get sore. And he was criticizing her teeth, because he said this is the worst job of.
He said Canada, then they were very primitive with their feelings. I'm like, what?
He just wanted to put it.
And Gilead,
he just wanted to put it down because he knows that she's a pearl, and he just wanted to put down. Anyway,
was that a knock against Canada's universal health care?
It's a knock, definitely a knock.
I thought that was odd, but so I thought that there was going to be a growth scene, and it never came.
Well, I don't know about that, Clay, because, after she goes in there and he's got that kind of coy, wicked, there's something
cheap suit,
evil about him. And you've got it behind that wicked smile. And he's like, doing a TV. Then he says, okay, you can rinse and spit. Now, I felt that he was building her up for the kill, so to speak. Like the next time she comes, then he would try something. That's why he was trying to mess with the gums to irritate them. But she goes, that's it? And he goes, yeah, that's it. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she looks and she goes, ah! She starts screaming and ripping her clothes open. And I'm like, what the hell?
I thought she was going to kill him right then and there.
Oh my
I thought
God.
she was going to stab him with one of the dental instruments.
Yeah. And so he's looking at him like, what is going on? And she runs out and she falls to her knees and she's like saying that, I don't know, the Lord's Prayer. She's saying so much, scriptures, and he tried to attack me and this and that. And they're looking like, oh my God. And it was horrible. But after she leaves and they call her in to talk to Aunt Lydia, and Aunt Lydia, she believes her, but she says to the other aunts, like, why don't we just wait? Oh, this is what she says to Joseph, and the commander comes in. Commander Joseph comes in, right? And he tells
Commander Judd.
Judd comes in, and he tells uh, Aunt Vidal to leave, which she was highly offended.
Yeah.
And he says, I think, I've heard enough. It's time to sort of dispose of him. And Aunt Lydia says, well, why don't we just do this after the wedding? Aunt Lydia is all about show now because she wants to brag about how she did everything to get these girls married. That's what I think. She wants credit. But she's not really thinking about the girls. Although I will say, there might have been a part of her that felt that she was doing something good because she wanted to hurt Becca. It's a possibility. What do you think?
Yeah, the whole scene with the dentist and Commander Judd, or just the dentist with anyone after that accusation from Daisy, especially as traumatic as it was. Because in the past, or at least if you go back even to the original Handmaid's Tale, anybody, at least I thought or felt, that was accused of doing something with the girls, young, older, in between, especially the young girls, was immediately put on the wall or got their arm chopped off.
Like we said,
this was very democratic, and it was very due process.
Yes.
I thought in Gilead they'll do that.
Well,
but hey,
yeah, it's almost like they're the modern.
The fact that he was still walking around aimlessly,
modern Gilead,
especially after that performance by Daisy. It's just like the fact that you still let him walk around.
Commander wanted to do something right away, and it really kind of said, well, why don't we? But I also hear, and I agree with you, I think what we're seeing is the new Gilead evolving into more due process, to more, they're trying to modernize it, but keep it still like the old, but not as maybe barbaric, so to speak, even though they're still barbaric, if that makes any sense. It's like ridiculous. But I think the younger generation is trying to change a few things, like Commander Judd is doing. I think he's trying to. He's an interesting character.
He's one of the founders, which I thought Fred and Serena were. He was a part of it.
Yeah, they kind of changed up a little bit.
Yeah, they did. But anywho,
I think again, like we were saying, that maybe they're trying to modernize it just a tiny bit. I don't know.
Like the whole new Bethlehem idea.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, but that was like phony because the new Bethlehem, I thought the girls was gonna learn how to read and write.
That was a little. That's still to be baffles me how they kind of just let that whole subplot of new Bethlehem just die out with Handmaid's Tale. We never seen or heard about it again. Not even in this show, 9 episodes in. Mm-hmm. And I bring that up because you would think that there'll be some lasting impact of it, maybe into this season and. Well, we just haven't seen it. Now, maybe it's taking form of what you're saying. Maybe it's showing up in ways to where a person's not immediately hung on a wall or getting salvaged or getting beat up or stones thrown at him.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I wanted to.
Yeah. But after that scene, Daisy is talking to Becca. Becca grabs her. They're walking in back into the school, the building, and Becca grabs and says, "What did you lie on my father? You lied." She says, "No." And she gets into it with her, and then she runs up to Agnes and says, "It's not true. Did he ever do anything to you?" And Agnes looks, and then she kind of has these big, sad eyes, and she says, "Yes, she's telling the truth. He did." Becca almost loses it. She's like, I cannot believe my dad. I cannot believe he has touched my best friend, the person that I love more than care about than anyone here. This cannot be happening, and I don't think she's lying. That's the impression I got. And then, of course, when the auntie sits in and goes and says no gossip and they got to pray and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I get so tired of that with that yardstick thing.
Yeah, they keep getting punished. They're very selective with their punishment. Like the tattoo scene from a couple episodes back. They're talking about the old times, which is not supposed to do that. They're letting them talk about tattoos, but now they can't even talk in a hallway. It's just weird.
It is. It is. Double standards. But then that evening, Garth goes in to talk to his fiancee, Becca, and with the mother, and they're talking and kind of and Becca's just sitting there like this stone, mad. I don't know why he's here. I don't want to get married. I don't want no part of this whole thing, right? She's got that mean look on her face, as she always does. It's just staring. And then the father comes home and he's like, oh, I need to talk to you about something that happened today. And she's like, not in front of the company, dear. And he's like, I just want you to know. And then that's when Garth says, okay, I'm leaving. And he leaves, and then he says that it didn't have, they said that I did something to this, I've never done anything. And so they're having dinner. The mother is in La La Land. That's probably why he keeps feeling everybody, because he can't feel his wife. I don't know what the hell. But the mother is in denial and La La Land. All she's talking about is beef and food and what we're going to eat and what's going to be on the menu for the wedding and the engagement, all this stuff. And then he's looking, and he looks at her and he goes, talk, talk, talk. And she's like, Becca. Finally, she looks at him and says, did you touch my friend or something like that? And he says, like shocked, and then he goes, no. And he's looking at him like, you believe me, right? She's looking at him like, no, I don't. She's got that look in her face, and he has a look of guilt and sadness. He can't really cover up his, he's looking like, I can't believe, but there's a look in his eyes of water. His eyes are watering, and I was thinking, is that the look of guilt? Because why are you being a crybaby? You know, it's like, I don't get it. You know, you're being a phony, and I see why you're saying no, but your daughter is looking straight in your eyes, and she thinks you're lying. And the mother, of course, still wants to just talk about dinner. And that evening, this is the most shocking episode, this scene, because Becca goes in her room, she's cutting roses. Her room is very angelic, pretty. And she's got her hair down. She's got an all white cotton gown and white shoes and, slip-ins. And I'm thinking she looks like a little angel. She's gorgeous. That's the best I've ever seen her. Gorgeous. Her hair is out. It's curly. I mean, she's beautiful.
I didn't recognize her.
Doll.
First I thought it was Daisy for like a half a second.
And Daisy not as pretty as her, because this girl is pretty. And, well, I don't mean it like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's not as pretty as her. What I'm saying is the way they're making up the actresses. They deliberately made her look more angelic. They have Daisy looking more stern. But you know how they have her hair and everything. And Daisy doesn't really get that many opportunities to look like this because she is in a different level category. The Pearls was not looking like these kids, the plums and the ones in green at home, because they're on a different economic level, if you know what I mean, So it was kind of shocking to see Becky looking this pretty. We've only seen her with her hair pulled back. We never really get a chance to see the girls look really pretty like she was looking this evening. And I'm sure, and shout out to the makeup artists and the hairstylists and this whole thing, because you guys did it,
Even Chase's.
Yeah, but so she goes, she's going up the stairs, and I'm still watching, maybe she's going to go in her room and she's going to think about what happened and have a nightmare, and all of a sudden she goes in the bathroom. And I'm like, first of all, that's odd.
Yeah, that was odd.
That's odd, because you going in your father's bathroom and he's naked.
Yeah, and not to mention, Gilead, do they have leafy showers? Because they're supposed to be environmentally friendly. Why everybody got bad? Even if you go back to Handmaid's Tale, I've never seen showers, so I
Okay,
just see
I can
baths.
kind of,
Anywho,
I get it
sorry,
because look,
I had to get it off my chest.
okay, they are trying to recreate how um, life was back then, even with the Victorian homes and the classic homes, with the barefoot tubs, which I love those tubs. They're so expensive, but they're trying to recreate an era, and if they had showers, it would be too modern. To have her father go in a regular shower like we have in our homes would look too modern. They're trying to give an ambiance and a feeling of old world look, is what I'm getting. So he's sitting in there, soaking in the tub, and she comes out of nowhere with these scissors and just starts attacking him violently,
And you
viciously.
thought it was a dream.
I kept saying, this has got to be a dream.
It was all a dream.
This got to be a dream. It just cannot be happening. And he's like trying to reach up, but she's stabbing him so hard. He said, Becca, stop?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear it. I was so busy shocked. I'm like, this is a dream. This is not really happening. She's going to wake up. This is what she wants to do. And it was real. I couldn't believe it. And then he dies in the tub. The whole tub is full of blood, which symbolized in the beginning when they were talking about men being punished for their behavior.
You're so right about that, Queen. Absolutely.
Yeah. Remember that bucket of blood and Daisy was laughing?
So there was symbolism already.
Symbolism, because then the tub was full of blood. And they said when a man does something he shouldn't do, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, justice. Remember they were saying that. So, and this is what Becky believes and feels, because this is what she has been raised to believe, trained to believe. They just got through saying it today in school, right? When they killed that man. So to her, it's justified, because this is what she was taught. So she goes, I'm thinking she's going to go in the room. She's going to take off everything. She's going to get all washed up. But she does something different. She goes down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she do, Clay?
She goes down the steps and she wearing her blood-stained clothes. She puts on a Martha's outfit.
The Martha's outfit.
Then she boards a bus where it looks like they're at an airport stop where they have that they use for workers, the flight attendants all boarding. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I got a budget for a public transit.
I'm like, okay, where did the bus come from? Where did the bus come from? What neighborhood is this? I thought she'd come from a kind of, neighborhood.
And I was also, this is another good eye on my part, that bus didn't have any guardians on board. Now, you know what I'm thinking? Why would you have, presumably, a male bus driver for Martha's with no guardian where they could clearly overtake? See, I'm always thinking like that. I'm just saying, it just seemed a little...
And I was thinking like...
a little too trusting.
I was thinking like, the Marthas don't get that type of protection.
They don't. The Marthas are weird. Remember even last year, in season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale, Julie even disguised herself as a Martha.
They don't get the kind of protection. They're kind of like, it's kind of like in New York, being run from New York. You got the wealthiers and the ones that are working on Wall Street or, who are flagging taxis. And then you got the blue collars getting on the MTA mass transit, waiting for a bus or a long bus stop. Okay, so we know what kind of jobs they got, right? Versus the ones that's flagging for the taxis, right? And so I understand that. I understand, and not everybody's working when they're flagging folks. A lot of them are going to school, doing different things. We don't know why they're on the bus, but I know that when I was living there and I was younger, I would take the bus and the train. And sometimes trains, now listen, for those who don't know anything about New York, trains are above ground, subways are below.
Well,
I have taken the subway, the bus, and the train. And when I married, I would flag taxis. When I lived in Manhattan. So I'm just trying to say, You know,
Yeah,
I would dare get on the bus. Then I'm taxi. But so I'm trying to say that that's what it is with the Marthas. You know what I'm saying? The Marthas are not going to get that kind of treatment. You can forget it. I don't know where that bus came from. I don't know if she had to walk a couple of blocks. We don't know. We don't care. What's interesting enough.
And I'm trying to add another thing too.
How did she get to that mansion though? That
You know, I'm going to ask you that. And this is supposed to be a bus. Even in the normal real world, buses barely go the same block as a mansion.
Okay.
You might go on the outer perimeter,
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, where you can just literally walk up without you walking a good mile at least. Like,
yeah, let's talk about that. Listen, if it was realistic,
unless they got Ubers again, I don't know.
If it was realistic, she would be probably 2 or 3 miles down, getting off the bus and having to walk to Agnes's house.
Even on that though, this is where the technical part gets. If they can't read, how would she understand how to even figure that out? How to go? They don't got GPS. They ain't got no maps because they can't read. So how?
Okay, I can explain.
I probably get way too deep into this.
You know, like let's just talk about the fantasy of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just talk about what I know now, that because here in America, back in the day, what I mean is every McDonald's, you had to learn to register and how to cook that line thing.
Okay.
Now, because we have so many foreigners that have moved to America who may not know how to speak English, they have changed the cash registers to all pictures. They even did it with the stop signs. The stoplights and the signs used to say walk and stop. Now they just have pictures. A lot of them just have pictures. They don't even have the words walk because maybe to accommodate people who come from other countries. So America has accommodated a lot of those things. So I know for a fact that a lot of times now it doesn't say walk and stop. Now it has pictures. And so if you understand that she doesn't have to know how to read, but she knows how to watch, observe, and follow, because these girls do have to observe everything and learn everything by watching and learning and listening to Martha's too. I mean, when the Martha's making breakfast or whatever, you don't think that they talk and stuff and listen out and all that stuff. So, because you know how they used to do on Handmaid's Tale, those Marthas do everything.
So Marthas are like a real.
They were like the help, honey. Yeah. They were like the help. You know how the help was if you seen the help.
So what I've read
they know how to talk
what
together.
What I gather and what I read about the Marthas are, and I'm bringing this back full circle, don't worry. The Marthas are what we would consider in the modern day. They are made up of the baddies, the corporate, the professional women. They just reduce them down to maids, basically. They're the ones who can't have children, but they're still useful to some degree. Yeah. So that's why a lot of the Marthas look like they're in their 40s, 50s-ish.
Yeah, they're still pretty young.
Right.
Some of those Marthas is even like early 30s. Some might even be in late 20s. It depends on economic background, what they have read when they found them. You know, like when they did that whole thing. If you know, in the stadium.
The stadium, yeah.
Yeah.
They did it in the Handmaid's Tale too.
They, you know, like, okay, yeah, she was a runaway. Yeah, she was bad. She was smoking and drinking. Yeah, we're not gonna use her body's probably polluted. Yeah, this one, this. You know, they had all that, and then they pick and choose who they want to save. Okay. So that's how they go. But let's get back into how she knocks on the door, whatever, and Agnes, she goes to Agnes, and she takes off her cloak, and Agnes looks at her. Agnes is smart. That June DNA coming out. Look, I did it all for you. And she's like,
it all for you.
Agnes is in her mind going, okay. Hey, come on upstairs, Agnes says.
I'll take care of you.
Did she say Zilla? Oh, that was the other.
Yeah, Zilla.
Zilla? Could you clean her up for me? Because remember now, she's rich. So Zilla draws the bath, and Agnes is washing her and pampering her, and Zilla's like, oh my God, something getting ready to go down. I can tell by Zilla's face. And she's going, let's run away together. And Agnes is in her mind going, yeah, okay. In her mind, those wheels are turning. She's thinking, let me hurry up and get some help. Because if she think I'm gonna run with her, we both be on the wall. Agnes said,
Yeah, that's
I want to
exactly
get
what she
married and have
thought.
a kid and live. I want to get married and have some babies and live a beautiful life. I don't want to be on the run with you. Are you kidding me? This is what Agnes is thinking, but she's like, I love you, baby, but I ain't going.
Well, we were a lot of folks ain't happy with Agnes and that decision. Or
Again, let's talk about that.
yeah,
That's why
we don't call her Hannah no more.
You read some things, things. Tell me what the consensus is for those who have seen it. And I didn't want to because I didn't want anything to affect my feelings.
I tried to. It was hard. It was hard this week.
So what did you hear?
That's why I watched when it first dropped, which
we
will do on Tuesday because I'm gonna be the first.
What did you hear?
Anywho, Agnes was wrong for not wanting to help Becca out. She's a snitch. She turned her in. She's definitely like June. She's not revolutionary enough.
Wow, that's what she thought.
That's why we don't call her Hannah anymore. So yeah, I mean, that's okay.
This is typical of what generation is this we're talking about this?
So in the real world, Chase Affinity is 25.
I'm talking about the messages that came on Instagram.
These are. I'm gonna have to probably.
Was this from Instagram?
Instagram and Facebook.
So, most Instagram, right?
Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, let's talk about that now. The people who are doing this are not in their shoes, and I've always said, if you really want to know how something feels, walk in their shoes. So it's easy to sit back and view and judge, but the word says that we're going to go back to this Handmaid's Tale and this Testament, and anybody who knows anything about biblical words, it says, take the speck out of your own eye first. So be judged. You can't judge if you don't want to be judged. So listen, this is what I feel. If you were walking in Agnes' shoes, would you want to run away with a killer? Would you want to run away with someone? Now, I don't know if Agnes knows that she's in love with her. Yeah, I don't know that. We're not so sure about that.
I don't think we'll ever know.
Yeah.
Well, we might.
But do you want to abort your chances of having your happy ever after? Now, what we have to understand is she's already been brainwashed into this. Everyone keeps thinking these girls does not really know what it's like to be on the outside. Well, they ain't hip, they ain't savvy. These are people who have been confined and raised a certain way. And also you think they'll wake up and go, yeah, let's go out there and be militant and run. Where they gonna run? Where they gonna run? They're not hip and cool like June was and her husband. So you think they're gonna run, and where they running?
To Canada.
They don't know how to drive. Some of them don't know how to ride a horse.
Hey, at least Luke and June.
They don't have any sneakers and jeans or workout clothes.
Underground Railroad.
Okay.
Like Harry Tucker.
They don't even know about They don't even know about that. Where are they running to? You see, so in your mind, the people who are saying this is, oh, she's a snitch. She's not. She's just like June in the way that she's smart enough to know I gotta have a plan. June is, I gotta have a plan. I just can't run with you. Where am I going? Okay, I'm gonna run with you because you made a decision to ruin your life. So now you want me to ruin mine too? I don't think so. Listen, you have to look at it from a young person's mindset who have not been worldly like Daisy. Now Daisy, oh yeah, she can run. She can figure it out. She knows how to lie, cheat, steal, have sex, smoke, drink, because she's been in the world. She knows how to duck. She may survive, she may not, but she knows how to play the game. You talking about somebody ain't never did a damn thing, but just go, yes, and Lydia, Yes, Auntie. Yes,
True
Mom.
all that.
Yeah, okay. So what do you want her to do? So if you think that you would go run with somebody who's full of blood, who is going to get hung on the wall or get tortured or killed or whatever, you got to rethink that. Are you being realistic, or you just jump on the bandwagon what everybody's saying?
For sure.
I guarantee you, everyone who said that is not going to run with her. I guarantee you that. I'll be shocked if someone say, "Yeah, I'm going to run away, and I'm going to run." You ain't going to get, but not even 30 minutes anywhere. You don't have no transportation.
Yeah.
How? You don't know how to lie. Not you know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you're not. So
You're not savvy enough.
Gilead does not produce good liars.
Listen, my mother used to make a joke. She said, you can tell a country dog from a city dog. She said, a country dog will get hit by a car every time.
Yeah.
But let a city dog go out in the street. He know how to duck, dive, and run. That even go for the pigeons in New York versus... Mm-hmm. I'm serious. You have to be raised in an environment and be with people who know how to do that.
Sure.
Unless you're not going to... So I'm shocked that they're saying, oh, Agnes was wrong, Agnes was wrong. When I'm not... Now, this part I will say. I don't think that Agnes thought it out. As far... I believe in my heart she thought they were going to help her because, again, she's not grown yet.
Come on, man.
What is she, between the ages of 13 and 16?
Yeah, in this show.
She's not... She's thinking her parents are on her side, you know? And so for them... She's like, and she did say, I thought that you was going to help her. Something she did say. So she really thought her parents were going to help her. She really did. She did not do that out of cruelty. She's naive. But I bet she ain't naive no more, though. You know, and plus Davy is hipping her to the game with a lot of stuff. But we're still talking about someone who had never seen nobody. No, she ain't never seen a penis. She ain't never seen a vagina except her own. And she don't know what to do with it. Okay? Crazy. Because they won't even give them sex education. So, you know, so guys, you got to think this through. Are you willing to sacrifice your life and run away with someone who you know ain't gonna make it? Or are you going to figure out a plan? Because if you really want to run away, be with somebody like Daisy.
Yeah.
You might make it through. But you got to learn first. You got to have a plan.
Always.
And never, ever put yourself in a position where you listen to someone else because they chose their life the way they wanted it to go. You got to choose you first.
1000%.
Choose you first.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out who all those men were. Were they like?
Oh, the ones that had the mask on?
Yeah.
Oh, that was something to scare us. But also, I think in this show, that was dramatics, of course. That was to let you know it ain't going to end well for her. Now, two things might happen if they spare her life. She'll be up there in the colony, won't she? You know the colony?
Mm-hmm. The
colony,
yeah.
Right?
The colony.
If they spare her life because she's still young and can produce a child, if they're that kind, that's what she'll be. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think's going to happen to her? Because we don't know.
I think she's gone. I think she was the one done.
You know, I knew that she needed professional help. Did you?
Oh, I think no. I just felt that she's a Gilead. That alone, crazy. Everybody needs professional help. That's a given. I mean, let's just be honest about it. I mean, so the funny thing is though is that Agnes is giving her own testimony of Gilead on the other side. Like she said, when I start seeing a therapist, we're gonna hear that later on.
Oh, she's gonna see a therapist?
No, she's talking like June did.
Right.
The audio book.
Yeah. And Aunt Lydia gave her a little monologue too when she was.
So did Daisy.
Yeah.
They're talking to someone.
I like when they do that though. But you know,
Kanan and raising Kanan.
I mean, okay, let me ask you a question from a male's point of view. If your buddy came in and said, "Hey, I just killed my father because he was beating up my mother. Come, let's run away, man. I can't stand in here. What you gonna do?"
I ain't running away with you. But I ain't gonna call the police, say, come get him out of here.
But she didn't call the police.
Well, there's no police in Gilead. She told her parents.
Why did she tell her parents?
Because
she told her parents because she thought she was sick. She said, "You need help," and they probably said, "Yes, baby, we gonna get her."
I'm trying to figure out. You've been in Gilead long enough. When have you ever seen Gilead have a psychotherapist, psychologist?
I don't know what. Again, this is why.
I'm just saying.
I agree with you. This is why we have to understand the mind of someone who's naive, a mind of someone who did not think it out. But she was smart to say, okay. She was smart to say, okay. Remember she said, let's run away. She said, okay, because she thought she had lost it. She really thought, she said, I did this for you. She says, I know. But she felt that her friend had just went off the deep end. And my concern was, even if she wouldn't have did that, I felt that it was a possibility that maybe before she got married, she might kill herself. Have that ever crossed your mind?
You mean Becca?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I felt that. Well, the spoiler was up too.
Yeah.
On social media, so.
Yeah, I thought that she might kill herself. Why? You said they said on social media too? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that I felt that. Yeah, Talk Street was really good this week, by the way. We talk about as it relates to Daisy.
I'm saying that. Do you think that Becca would kill herself?
Oh yeah. I thought she would.
I think that if a man never got on top of her, it's over. She gonna kill him. Becca is not playing. She's lost it. It's a done deal for her. Daisy, I'm wondering what's gonna happen now. What do you think?
So, I think Daisy, if we're talking about episode 10 prediction, I think we're going to see June one last time before the series.
I am impressed with Daisy. Even though I'd be like, Daisy, you're going to get in trouble. Daisy, you keep on pushing that envelope, you're going to get it. But she has proven to be, she actually said to Garth, I can't trust you no more. I can't trust none of the men here. You're not going to help me, and you're not going to help these girls. So I'm going to help these girls, which means she's turned a corner. She's like, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be like the leader here. I'm going to do something.
For sure.
For sure. Don't you think? I'm going to be the revolutionary leader. I'm going to help these girls. And she's willing to put her neck out like she did with that dentist. I was shocked that she did that.
Yeah,
that was a bold move.
That was a bold move.
That's a person. That is a bold move. That is a bold move. It really is. Oh, but anyway. So that was the ending of that.
Yeah,
it showed Becca crying and screaming for Agnes in the van, and I felt so bad. It was frightening seeing her screaming and crying. She was like, it was sad. I'm glad that Agnes, they had closed the door so Agnes could not see that because she would be able to handle that, right? They closed the door, front door for Agnes, and you go back to bed, so to speak. She really thought they was going to help her. And
I'm sorry, I'm about giving Agnes a pass on that.
Oh, we're not giving her a pass. But we do understand.
I mean, if you're doing it to protect yourself, I get that. But people go out there and start lying to folks saying, well, I thought or felt we could give her some psychological help.
She didn't say that.
Well, what else would help me? And Gilead, what else would help me?
Again, I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking.
You think they're going to have...
She didn't think it out.
You think they're going to have...
She was just scared.
Psychologists like they have dentists.
This is what she was, scared and sad. Is what we saw.
What, a counselor? A Gilead counselor? Come on.
Sad and scared.
Get you some help on all these web things. We report you.
What do you think's going to happen?
Or I'm protecting me.
What do you think's going to happen the next episode with Daisy?
Daisy, I think we're gonna have a June flash. I think we're gonna either have a flashback of Daisy, or we're gonna. I think we're gonna see June.
Did somebody put that in the grapevine or something?
That wasn't grapevine.
Spoiler alert?
That wasn't really a spoiler. That was more of a unofficial promo.
Okay, all right. We'll see.
Again, you can't trust everything you read completely, so it's likely that could happen.
So, what do you think about this whole episode? What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10?
I liked it. Look. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. What's been my beef all season long? They episodes need to be an hour long.
Mhm.
I'm not going to back from that.
You sure you wouldn't fall asleep on it?
I don't fall asleep on Friends and Neighbors. That's an hour. That's an hour plus long.
Yeah. I would say too.
But it's been good. But I think
I would give it a 10. I really thought this was
the acting was
for
good.
30 minutes. They hit it. It wasn't drawn out. Everything was to the point, and I really applaud these actors.
Chase did a good job.
They did a great job.
Lucy Holiday did a good job.
Yes,
Everybody
did. It was awesome. It was a good.
It was a good show. We got one
episode.
more left. I wish we had more, but we gotta wait. Just like we do for every other show. But we'll be back here next week to talk about the season finale and what we would like to see for season 2, which it has been renewed.
Yay!
For season 2 this week, which Chase and all that manifested at a promo event in Hollywood. So and they're going to be doing a Tribeca panel in a couple weeks. So hopefully we can update you all on that.
Yes. So thank you so much for viewing this with us, and like, share, subscribe,
and hype.
And we'll see you next time.
Have a good night, y'all.
Bye-bye.